92% of sellers accepted buyers' terms in negotiations over the past year. You're definitely going to want to watch this one. Realtor.com just did a survey of homeowners that sold their home over the past 12 months. And this may be a surprise to a lot of people out there, and it's why you can't trust the headlines about real estate. 92% of sellers that were surveyed accepted the buyer's terms in the negotiation. So let me break this down for you, because there's some real key takeaways here, and it's going to tell us a lot of what buyers and sellers should be thinking as they go into the fall and winter markets in 2022 and 2023. So there were 3,000 homeowners surveyed, and of those 3,000 homeowners, 34% sold between June and August, and another 23% sold between February and May, both of 2022, and the rest sold prior to February. So we got about 57% February on, 43% prior to February of 2022. And here's the breakdown of the terms that were accepted. 41% of those people, they accepted some contingencies, meaning inspections, mortgage, appraisal, potentially a home sale or a home settlement contingency as well. So 41% of those people surveyed accepted some contingencies. 32% reduced the price because the appraisal did not come in at the sale price. So 32% negotiated on an appraisal shortfall. 32% also paid part of the buyer's closing costs, so a seller's assist. A lot of people think that's unheard of. The data tells us otherwise. 30% agreed to a flexible closing time frame that wasn't exactly what they wanted and met the buyer's needs. 29% of those home sellers, they agreed to credit for repairs or make repairs as part of the home inspection process. Again, people think these things don't happen. The data tells us otherwise. And 28% were not able to lease back the property after closing, after asking and requesting the buyers to allow the seller to stay in the home. So this is a major shift. If you watch the news of it's a seller's market, sellers are getting all their terms, they're getting their price, it's going above the asking price. This data tells us otherwise from the homeowners that were surveyed. And if you look at this even further, I have a couple key takeaways. One is buyers need to be more open to making offers. If you want to get a house and it's been on the market a couple days and you're unsure what's going to happen, it's critical you make an offer, because you don't really know until you send the contract to the seller, and the seller has to give you an answer. That's what the law says in Pennsylvania. They have to give you a response. So you don't know until you submit the offer. Now, a lot of agents out there, they're lazy. They don't want you to write contracts if they don't think they're going to get accepted. And what I know, and this has been documented with our team, is that there are times when an offer that we don't think will go ends up getting accepted, or you get a counter offer that's way more reasonable than a lot of buyers think. So all the buyers that are hesitant out there, I'd be more aggressive in pursuing homes. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain. Sellers, what this tells me is that it's important to price your home appropriately, and that's never changed in the 21 years I've been doing business. Price it where you think it's going to sell for. Price it at a reasonable number to get as much interest as possible, because then you can get better terms. And secondly, react to the market. You're not going to get the above cash offer all the time now. You're not going to get the waive contingencies all the time now, like what was happening in 2020, 2021 especially. What's going to happen is you're going to have a normal negotiation. You're going to be able to ask for things. You're going to be able to go back and forth, and it's going to be a give and a take with a buyer and a seller. And it's always critical to look at there's price and there's terms, and maybe you need to sacrifice price for terms, or vice versa. This is a normal market. This is the normalization of real estate back to 2019, and 2019 was a pretty great year for sellers. So there's a lot of positives here, and I'm clear this is going to benefit everyone in the transaction, because sellers aren't going to be bombarded with having to give answers in 10 or 15 minutes to people. Buyers will have some more time to think about things. They can make more well thought out decisions, because these are big financial transactions everyone's getting into. So again, don't trust the real estate headlines. Look at the data. Look at the information that's out there. Realtor.com did a great survey about this. And to me, this is a huge benefit for both sides of the transaction, so everyone knows what they're getting into. I've seen so many times where you get into these bidding wars, and the buyer that bids the high price, they get cold feet and back out a couple days later. That's not good for the seller, and it's not good for the buyers that lose out on the home because they may go in another direction. That's a common thing that happened in 2019 and previously, and even at the beginning of 2020. So the benefit here is that everyone can get comfortable with their decisions, and we're more likely to get to the settlement table, which is everybody's goal. You're definitely going to want to watch this one.